biting, that kind of up bad reaction, or the sniping, I suppose is what I'd call it.
Did you appreciate the humour in there as well? Because that's something that Matt and I always gravitate to.
I missed out on obviously some of the backstory, but it didn't really need to be told out. Very early on, I realised that she'd come back from a secondment in London. She'd had a good time, which they did in a nice little flashback of her drinking sambuca and having sexual relations in a hotel room. Who's the person living in her house with a son?
Her sister.
That's her sister, Sally.
Right, okay. Fine. I assumed it was a family member, but I had no real way of knowing it.
Fact fans, she came up with the concept for the series with Saran Jones. Sally Lindsay did.
Right. I did like the way in which they got those little side plots. The guy who lost his workbook, which Daybook. Yeah.
Generally, the sort of supporting police officers, the fact that they don't feel like actors, and I've said this before, they feel just like normal blokes. And I think I like the way that they sort of cast them.
They feel like police officers. I mean, that's...
Yeah. But often in police dramas, you don't get people who feel like police... that's that actor from that thing, whereas these blokes are just seem like normal police officers. And I think that adds to the realism.
It also moved at such a good pace. There was so much going on, and it was funny, and it was exciting, and it was intriguing, and it was dark, and it was light, and it moved at such a speed that I don't think you couldn't not get into it, really. Yeah. Because there was no downtime in it, was there?
No,
really?
There's certainly... It moved along at a fast pace, and I think that Saran Jones's character was this kind of like, right, we need to get everything done, and we need it all now, and every moment we're not doing this, we're letting the families down.
I think more people are now going to gravitate towards this because of Saran Jones, because of Dr. Foster. And
but isn't she also, like, heavily pregnant? I understand. Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be her filming schedule that's going to sort of, Yeah.
There was also a great line about her, Janet's daughter's boyfriend having the sexual threat of a castrated mole.
I'm not worried. She was in a car with some boys and they had some Class Bs. She was with Sam, her boyfriend. Oh, I sew my mouth up every time I say that word. It's fine. She's growing up. He's 5 foot squeak with the sexual threat of a castrated mole. Tazy said that she didn't know the other lads. They were the ones with drugs.
I know what I was up to when I was 16.
She still sleeps with her Furby, so unless she's been using that as a drugs mule, yeah, I am.
My favourite thing about Scott and Bailey outside of the crime drama element is just the banter between the two of them. They just seem so comfortable with one another that it's...
I've not seen so many scenes in a toilet since that criminal law drama where the dancing baby dances.
Or George Michael's
Ally
McBeal, yeah.
Do you see, Gary, why Matt and I would gravitate? I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule. Why we would gravitate towards this rather than Marcella.
I think I can, knowing how you two, it's got that light and shade balance.
It's got that northern charm, which I go for.
Yeah. The first 4 series will now go on the famed list.
Wow.
So I will go back.
Series 4 is very strong, though. Yeah. Series 4 is very strong.
But I just really, really enjoyed it, and I was worried because obviously Jill had such an impact on the show, and I was thinking I really liked.
And Amelia had done really well with the writing, taking over from Sally.
But it just kept the momentum of the first few series, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm sad it's only 3. But I'm also glad that they're covering one story and avoiding some crime cliches so far that we've become well and truly aware of. Is the darknet a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we answered that way too quickly.
There are certainly hidden parts of the internet where it's alleged that this sort of stuff goes on. I mean, password protected websites,
and also
because it's a snuff movie basically, isn't it? It's showing someone getting killed.
Janet's daughter stuff was something I've not seen before, and I can imagine that
she's like 16, and
I felt it was an awful lot to arrest her. Wouldn't they have questioned her first?
But they wanted to make an example of her, didn't
they? Well,
because her mum's a policeman.
Well, that's right.
Well.
Yeah.
I love Leslie Sharp just generally. I think.
Yeah.
I believed her.
I'd happily watch her but it's like she's one of those actresses where why isn't she on? She was in Capital last year, but she didn't have that big of a role really. And it's just
I first saw her in Clocking Off when she was Philip Glenister's secretary in the factory, and I remember thinking how brilliant.
I mean, she was
in
really
that.
good. Gary will remember her from that episode of Doctor Who she was in on the plane.
Yes.
That was probably one of my favourites of that year.
And you know, one of her roles we never discussed, but it's something we all enjoyed years ago, was she was very good in The Shadow Line.
Oh, yeah, she was, wasn't she? Yeah.
That's Christopher Eccleston's wife.
Gosh, that's a long time ago.
That is a long time ago in TV world.
There's another I'd love to watch again.
Just do a pitch, Gary. So somebody's never seen this like you. They've got a week now to catch up on the next lot. Okay. Tell them why they should, as somebody who's just seen it for the first time.
If you're a fan of good police procedural work, and you have a tendency to like those cases that are a little bit abnormal, that aren't just solved in week one. This clearly is a good, depthy story, and hopefully with a good finish.
They're going to go in depth.
Well, it's good, in the sense that it's just not going to be. Oh, we said it was Phil, and it was Phil all along. There's lots of different people involved in this, and it's going to take 3 episodes to pull all that apart.
One question I have got is, as this is sort of a continuous story, do you think it would have worked better on sort of consecutive nights or something?
I would have liked it over consecutive nights, but.
Well, there's a couple of bank holidays coming up. We all remember Messiah, and it's 3 episodes over the one bank holiday. So
because I watched it almost all in one bang, certainly 2 and 3 together, and I think it works better like that, but better sort of.
I think you
not forget about what happens, but because it's one of those, it just fits together better if you haven't got like a week between each episode.
I know that something earth-shattering in the show happens in the second episode.
Second episode, something major happens. There is a major incident in episode 2. That is all.
I almost want to watch it now, because every time you
I think I've maybe heightened
overblown
it.
I can certainly watch it next
for fans of Scott and Bailey like me and you. It still will come as a bit of a shock.
Have you told your friends about this podcast?
Okay, here we go.
No?
It's just not my idea of a good time.
Tell them now.
That's what the people want to hear.
This is the Custard TV Podcast.
Good to the last drop.
From thecustardtv.com.
Britain's Got Talent, then, I suppose.
I have to confess, I only watched 10 minutes.
Did you just find it too disturbing?
No, I just didn't. I just thought...
Which act did you get up to, Gary?
Oh, good grief. The Queen dancing, I think it was.
That's like the first thing.
The first thing was the accordion player who doesn't...
Oh, okay,
and then the orchestra that appeared as if from nowhere.
Yeah, and then the Queen, and I just thought, you know what, I've got better things to do in my life.
I quite
enjoyed it, but it's kind of more of the same, isn't it? Really, I mean, they don't go out of their way to
deserve, not the band, the editors, the people who
not showing the hard drive.
Munich.
Yeah, the people who edit the show deserve some praise for putting together, making chicken salad out of sometimes. But what I do like is the fact that now these acts are coming on and saying, yes, I've appeared on this talent show already. I've been here before, blah, blah, blah.
Except for one, who's getting a lot of stick
the girl?
This week in the press. Bo, who sung a song from the musical Wicked.
I have to say that, even though I knew all that was going to happen, it still got me emotionally, and I think you have to have sort of a bit of a heart of stone not to...
I disagree with the papers going, she's done this before.
No, but she hasn't done... What they're saying is she's had singing lessons.
No, she's been on talent shows before, sung that song and won them. What the papers are picking up on is that, she was very nervous. She said it would be her dream to sing in this song and da-da-da. And then actually she's done this on talent show. I don't know, if you do the Mirror or something online, you can find it. But it's not really the girl's fault or the girl's parents' fault. It's the fact that the producers obviously say, well, let's bring her out as our own act.
The sword swallower man says, I've won Russia's Got Talent. I saw him on America's Got Talent, I believe, so I knew
you're not telling me that Simon Cowell hasn't seen his act before.
Yeah.
Either when he won Russia or when he was on America's Got Talent. I appreciate Simon's not on the judging panel of either show, but you'd still see it.
This is the problem with the whole idea of Britain's Got Talent now for the last few years. I mean, ever since the people from Europe won it with the shadow puppeting thing, it's now
amazing.
Almost Europe's Got Talent. Oh, and Europe are a bit more talented than us, and Brits are a bit weird and wacky.
I still like the fact that Mel C judges Asia's Got Talent. I don't know why that...
I didn't know that, but I now watch that.
It was
I'm wondering what point Mel B's got talent.
That Planet's Got Talent thing that Warwick Davis does, and they show all the different Got Talents. So you've got, basically all the Spice Girls are on. Mel B's in America, Mel C's in Asia, Jerry's in Australia. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it for what it is.
It's kind of just pleasant. It's just more of the same.
You know, sort of where you are in the year. You know, it's going to lead up to the second May bank holiday. Sorry,
got a calendar for that.
But yeah, I mean, there is the problem with the lack of act, just in terms of this. One thing I would say, this is my pedantic side coming out now, is
here we go.
It is not the 10th anniversary, it's the 10th series.
Thank you. Your wedding is not the anniversary of your wedding. Yeah. Exactly.
But hold on, your 10th birthday is the 10th anniversary of your birthday.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's your 10th year. Your 11th birthday is the 10th anniversary of you being a year old.
I'm confused.
So when your parents were married, that was also not their first wedding anniversary.
No, I know that. That's
but what they were saying on Britain's Got Talent is, welcome to the 10-year anniversary, when at the very beginning, because the editors aren't as clever as Matt says, Ant and Dec used a time machine to go back to 2007. So we know right then and there, and if you're a TV nerd, that I knew anyway, that it started in 2007, most people wouldn't care. But it's not the 10th anniversary, it's the 10th
I
series.
think they did this with X Factor as well. They got
I know, and it drove me mad then.
Series. They did it 2 years in a row.
Drives me mad. So yeah, next year, should it come back?
A 10-year anniversary 2 years in a row. It's stupid.
And that's my point. I suppose they just want to make it feel sort of special-ish. Britain's Got Talent.
Jordan Gallagher's telling you, Luke, who cares? So
at this point,
Pick of the week.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's only one thing on next week that I'm even going to be in slightly way watching, and it's 24 Hours in Police Custody.
I thought you said Weight Watching.
No.
Yeah.
No. The only one I'm going to be watching. That's another thing I need to do. 24 Hours in Police Custody on Channel 4 on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock. I really love this series. It's excellently made and a brilliant idea. And to me, it's the only good thing on next week apart from existing series. Only new thing on next week.
And you're obviously going to catch up on Scott and Bailey, aren't you?
Of course, yes. I will watch Scott and Bailey. So.
For me, it's something... I haven't even looked at Luke's TV week, but I don't think
it'll
have made it on there. It's just something I want to promote. I have seen it. It's something that does show promise, and it's on BBC Three. It's called Witless. It's a new sitcom.
I didn't like this. I didn't like this.
Stars Kerry Howard and I can't remember Zoe Boyle as sort of. I initially wound me up, but I as it went on, I sort of got where they were going with it, and I think it'll improve as it goes on. Star is sort of mismatched flatmates who witness a crime and have to go on the run in witness protection to a little dingy flat in Swindon. My favourite bit of this first episode was the John Inverdale how to be on witness protection videos. I thought they were the best thing about it.
If you hadn't mentioned that, I had no idea that was this week, because BBC Three, still for me at least, doing a bad job of telling us when things are.
I would agree. And Luke?
I'm going to stick with Scott and Bailey. Wednesday at 9. It is really, really good, and you need to watch it. Can I just draw your attention as well to ITV, who will not take ratings into consideration sometimes. Well, there is a second series of Play to the Whistle starting 20:09. Quite why, I don't know. And I've also previewed Monday night's I Want My Wife Back, which is Ben Miller's sitcom, which is, in my opinion, awful.
Yeah.
Awful. I don't know why. I don't know whether you feel the same, Matt, but I just don't like him. I like him as a person.
I liked him in Death in Paradise because I thought he was right for that character, that sort of brittle, unlikable.
But this is very worst week of my life.
I
want my wife back.
But I think he'd be good. Obviously, he'd be good in sort of like a Doc Martin-esque role.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But something like this where you have to sympathise with him to an extent, you have to want to follow him.
And I didn't know where the laughs were. No. I thought it was a mess. But we'll talk about it next week.
And as we're recording early, I will be watching The Five, which is on Sky One on Friday this week.
So you can follow us.
Gary
the quiz,
Luke.
Yes.
Right.
Go on, let's do it.
These are off the top of my head after listening to the podcast, so you might have to.
But what you're going to need to do
should we do
now,
fingers on buzzers or?
No. What you're going to need to do now for next week is listen to the second one and get questions prepared.
Oh, he's going to hate himself for even thinking of this, because they get worse as we went on.
Do you want to do just fastest, just shout out, or do
just shout out?
Yeah.
In the first episode, Gary, you did a impression of a